I like how that transition right there.
You know that right there?
That's a quarterback move right there.
That's a cool. When I see another quarterback coming up that was a lot better than me, I got to raise my game.
Come on, Chris. Stop it.
The man.
How you feeling, baby?
I'm great, man.
That's
good
what
to
I'm
see
talking about.
Hey, Donovan.
How you doing? How's it going?
Rogers.
All right.
He makes this show sane. He runs the show.
We try our best, but there's only so much you can do here, Donovan. So.
I got a lot of experiences with Donovan. I really do. Donovan was.
Don't age us.
First off, there's Keith Bullock over there. They're talking about the old little linebacker there. But nonetheless, we go way back, and he used to come down to Austin every now and then when I was in college.
Ooh.
And I'd go out or 6th Street or whatever, and I would see you every now and then. You weren't doing anything bad.
We were in Austin, out on the field doing some work. Absolutely. Film watching. Yeah, I love Austin.
Austin's a great city.
Great time.
But my point is that Donovan was always great to me as a young kid.
Absolutely.
And you were awesome to me that way. Yeah.
Hey, I watched you all through college. I was a big fan. Obviously, being in Tampa, I felt you in Tampa. I was like, oh, that's tough. But, man, just what you're doing here, you're doing such a great job. Keep up with the good work. I love it, man.
Thanks.
Support.
Thanks, man. I was on the field when he threw up in Tampa. I was underneath the center, 2-minute drill. It's hot as hell, right?
Yeah.
So teams coming from the Northeast that got to come play.
It's a little warm.
Right? They're early October, late September. They think they're ready for it. And all of a sudden you're like, whoa, it's humid and hot. So he literally blew 45.
He scored a touchdown.
He scored a touchdown.
Yeah, he scored a touchdown. Hey, man, breakfast just didn't sit well,
I think he threw a bomb. I think you did for a touchdown. No doubt about it.
Big fan. I love it, man.
All right, so we were just talking about the Eagles a little bit.
Okay.
Right? Just because Stoutland out of nowhere. And it doesn't sound like he's going to retire. So it's going to
I don't get that aspect. I mean, everything that I've read so far was that he's going to still be a part of the organization.
Yeah.
And there's been rumblings about Vic Fangio as well.
Yeah, I know.
And so I don't understand what's going on. And then the whole Mannion deal, congratulations to Mannion of getting the job, but I don't know where that came from.
We had the same. We just don't know what to expect.
That was out of left field.
Right.
And it's like, okay, is Nick going to be calling plays? Is it one of those deals? Now you're grooming him to possibly be there because now he's got to look at what Kevin Petula went through and be like, do I really want this job? And so me being from the outside and obviously, being the face of the franchise in my time, I'm trying to figure out what is going on over there because Jeff Stoutland's a guy that was with me in Syracuse.
Yeah.
And his path to the NFL was a lot different, and what he's done to change the dynamic of the offensive line has been dynamic. But now you don't have him a part of that.
Right.
But he's still going to be a part of the organization.
Right.
Make that make sense to me.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't.
It sounds,
and whoever you bring in at that spot.
Oh, I mean, you never want to be the guy after the guy.
That's a lot of pressure.
You never want to be the guy after the guy.
And if he's a part of the organization now, do you go to him and ask for help? Or, I don't understand this whole deal. And so, to me, it's almost like saving face to make the fans not really come down on them or something.
Right.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Well, we were talking with even the Sean Mannion thing a little bit, right? I do think there's a sense out there, and I know this just from talking to some people out there, that people they're scared to take the job as the offensive coordinator a little bit because of what you said. They look at it and go, it's kind of a no-win situation revolving door. If it doesn't go well, right, the scrutiny and everything that's gone on it, and I think that some of the maybe more qualified people than Sean Mannion were like, this could be good, but it could end up being bad, and I could be in deep shit when it's all said and done, too.
Well, maybe Mannion looks at it as a stepping stone.
Right.
I thought, just from everything that's been going on, that they may bring Frank Wright back.
Yeah.
And Frank was out there for a while until he just signed with the Jets.
Yeah.
But I also look at it from an offensive standpoint of, okay, what direction are you going in? What are you doing with AJ? What is this offensive line going to look like next year?
Right.
How are we going to make Jalen better? It's Saquon and Tate. They're going to be your running game. What are you going to do with Dallas Goedert? Is he coming back?
Yeah,
there's a lot of questions just on offense alone. And then also, how are you now going to propel Devontae into that number one spot, which I felt like Devontae was the number one receiver anyway.
Yeah.
So now he's now wide receiver one. And do you build around his ability? My question with Mannion is okay, with your resume of who you've been coaching under. How does that translate to in Philadelphia?
Right.
And so are you a guy that just, my system is my system and we're just going to run it? Or do you build it around the talent that you have? And that's the difference between a good offensive coordinator and just a coordinator that's going to come in with a playbook and this is what we're going to run.
Well, I feel like Steichen was able to do that. Steichen was a little pliable in some ways, and that's why it worked out. And we've seen him coach a lot of different quarterbacks now in Indy and have to be pliable.
Well, and that's the thing. We can say that about Gannon, too, from a defensive standpoint.
Yeah, right.
Because,
right.
you know, he had those guys out there. It was tee-off city.
Yeah.
And so now he becomes a head coach and goes to Arizona, and he just can't do that. And so with Steichen, he couldn't do that with Indy. You know, he thought he could do it with the young guy that they drafted out of Florida.
Anthony Richardson.
And then all of a sudden now you got Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
and
right.
It's just like, and so then you bring in Phillip, which you go from fast to
totally different.
Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of a lot of questions right now in the league in general, and I think a lot of these teams can look at what New England did, or look at what Seattle has done.
Right.
You know, with New England, Josh McDaniel comes back into the fold, and he's running almost the same system. People don't realize that it's like his power in his passing game is in the slot. In Stephon Diggs.
Definitely.
Booty is almost being used like Randy. Take the top off of coverage, get a dig route, maybe run a dagger.
Right.
You know, all of a sudden he's got 3 catches for 85.
Yeah.
But then it's like 4 catches in the slot for 70. You know what I mean? And so Hunter Henry's now a major part. But the run game is what makes New England go.
Yeah. No doubt about it. They can lean on you in that run game up front.
This Super Bowl, we love that we get it. Drake May's a rising star.
Correct.
Sam Darnold's been a reclamation project, and it's been incredible to watch. But
9 lives.
It's
9 lives.
It's not built as the Stafford versus Burrow. I love that aspect of this Super Bowl with these quarterbacks, that it's a little bit different for each of them right now. What is it just like preparing for the Super Bowl? The longer layoff, you're coming off a high of winning a conference championship.
Yeah.
Like, does it feel different internally, or do you try to stay insulated and not think that way?
You try to stay in the moment and you try to be business as usual, but it's so much that involves the Super Bowl week where, you know, your business as usual. Hey, you got Monday off, you got Tuesday off, you go in and watch film on Monday, go watch film on Tuesday, you got a workout in, Wednesday practice, Thursday practice. If it's an away game, Friday practice, you leave on Saturday after walkthrough. You don't have that here. When you come here, you hopefully have taken care of tickets already. So the family issue is hopefully that's kind of out the window. And then you come here and it's like you got media obligations, you got pictures, you got media obligations. Like when Friday comes about, you think it's business as usual, and the captain's now got to go for more media obligations. Right. And so now you get to actual Sunday. Yeah. And it's like, okay, decompress, it's game time. First half, you're out there playing, moving and grooving, getting oiled up a little bit. And then that halftime is an hour and a half long. Right. And so now you're sitting looking at each other in the locker room like, how much longer? Yeah. And it's like, well, about 45 more minutes. And then, you know, it's almost like I think what kicker went out to watch the halftime show. Yeah. Which I would have loved to do that. Like, let me go. So at least I'm kind of getting my energy back.
Yeah, the Bengals kicker did it a few years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
He stayed
and
out.
So now you come back out in the second half and your warm-up time is cut short. And so now you're trying to get back going again. So it's a lot of key factors. But the thing that there's no advantage here. This is their first time for both.
Yeah, right.
And so it's going to be interesting to see who handles what.
I got to go ask you this one more before we let you go. Of just Jalen Hurts, right? Just what do you make of some of the stories that have been coming out, the scrutiny, everything he's had to deal with? I mean, you played quarterback in Philly.
We played the position. Obviously, me being in Philly, I don't. The thing that bothers me was a lot of stuff that happens, and you know this. Yeah. A lot of stuff that comes out. That ain't just kind of in the wind.
Yeah, right.
You know, all of a sudden, somebody in the building or people in the building are trying to leak different things. Yeah. And when certain people report it, you know it's kind of where it's coming from. Right. And so I talked to Jalen, and I've just always try to be encouraging to him and support him and just try to prepare him. But he handles it very well. He does such a great job in the media. Doesn't point the fingers or do anything else. Right. He also handles it in the locker room. The thing that I was a little worried about was in this offense, he's not under center. Yeah. He's in shotgun a lot. The offensive line was in shambles, and even when they were healthy, they weren't consistently good.
Right.
And so Saquon took the hit. So now Saquon's trying to do too much. And then from the passing standpoint, it almost became like, when you start out the season, the offensive coordinator spends so much time in the offseason in the lab and he's creating plays and it don't work. And then all of a sudden by week 4, week 5, let's get back to the basics.
Yeah, right.
That's how they were all year.
Right.
It was like we're running slant spacing. We're running, power pass with the snag in the corner. And I'm like, okay, where's the creativity? Why isn't Dallas Clark running down the middle in cover 2?
Yeah.
Why isn't he running a basic in a single high coverage? Or why are we running a dagger route? Like, you know what I mean? Different things like that.
Right.
And I coach high school football, so I'm like looking at it like, what are we doing? Like, but it's just different things that I'm looking forward to that change with Mannion.
No doubt. Hey,
did I talk too much ball?
No, you
we
didn't.
loved
What?
it.
I brought coaching mode out.
If we didn't have Von Miller waiting in the background there.
Who is that?
Yeah, I know.
Come
some
on,
guy.
quarterbacks don't like DA.
He's only the guy. The last time the Super Bowl was here, he won the MVP. So we got to get his butt up here.
Guy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got it. But thanks for coming to hang out with
us,
man.
I appreciate it.
Donovan
Absolutely.
McNabb, great having you on with us. We'll be right back after this.
Yo, thanks for watching, homies. We are now in the NFL season here on Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Hit subscribe to get our weekly picks, game recaps, film deep dives, and much, much more.
Thanks again for watching. Subscribe, rate, review. Peace out. You know where to find us.